afternoon. We have a couple very important updates we want to share with the community, but before I do that, I want to introduce everyone, starting on my left.
Captain Derek May, Homicide. Michael McGinnis, Commander, Major Crimes.
Commander Arnold Williams, 6th Precinct.
Todd Bettison, First Assistant Chief.
Charles Fitzgerald, Assistant Chief, Office of Enforcement Operations.
Marlon Wilson, Deputy Chief Detective Bureau.
Detective Lieutenant Robert King, Sweeney Point Police Department.
All right, thank you very much. Again, we want to update the community and our media partners on two very important cases, two missing person cases that we are working on, and we need the community's help. Both investigations are now being handled by Detroit, and one of the cases is from the city of East Point, which we'll talk about in a moment. We decided to take that case because of some information that pointed to the fact that one of the missings' last known location was in our city. But the first case I'd like to speak about is an active investigation involving Miss Latima Warren, and her photo is up on the board now. We know that Miss Warren's family is devastated. Many of us have seen the media reports involving this case. Now, at this time, we cannot officially confirm that the human remains found at the location are in fact Miss Warren. We do have to wait for positive identification from the medical examiner for it to be official, but sadly, all things point to the fact that this is in fact, sadly, Miss Warren. Meantime, we've already launched an investigation, a homicide investigation, and we are working the cases aggressively. The people you see behind me and the people that work for them are working on these cases, and we are confident that we are going to get some justice for this family. We have resources, full resources dedicated. This case has a lot of investigators fully focused. I'm going to bring Commander McGinnis up from Homicide to talk a little bit about the investigation. Obviously, this is an active investigation, so we can't go into specific details on everything, but we'll give you as much as we possibly can. And again, we need the community's help in identifying a person of interest. Commander McGinnis.
Good afternoon. So on Monday afternoon, we served a search warrant on the address on Vaughn. And upon serving that search warrant, we encountered Mr. Rondell Waters. And we took Mr. Waters into custody, and we've submitted a warrant request to the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office seeking charges against Mr. Waters. When we did the search warrant at the house, we recovered human remains, and it's very sad and unfortunate, a tragic situation, and our heart goes out to the family that's grieving tremendously. Our community was critical in this investigation. As the chief mentioned, a lot of Detroit police officers have been investigating this case, and it's been evolving since we first became aware of it, and we're appreciative to the community and their support. And we support the family through this time of grieving, and we'll provide you an update at some point in the future.
I'm really concerned about a missing woman out of East Point. We've decided that Detroit will be the lead. East Point is here and will continue to support and assist us, as well as our federal partners. But we will run lead on this investigation. Again, Ms. Zion Foster's picture is on the board. We're asking the community to help us find her. If anybody has any information as to her whereabouts, we're asking that you contact either DPD or your local police department, wherever you see her. Any communication, any correspondence, social media or otherwise, we would ask your help in identifying where she's located. Again, our joint investigation with East Point has revealed that she was likely last seen in Detroit. This is an open and active investigation, and our federal partners, FBI, is involved in this as well. What our investigation has revealed is we need to talk to a Mr. Jalen Brazier. Jalen Brazier, his picture is also displayed on the board. We would like to know if he has seen her or if he has any information that could lead to her whereabouts. Again, he is a person of interest, and we have a number of questions for him. and we'd like to talk to him as soon as possible. So if anyone knows where he is, any correspondence with him, social media or otherwise, please let him know that the police department, the Detroit Police Department, the East Point Police Department would like to talk to him with regards to the whereabouts of our missing Mrs. Foster or Miss Foster. So that's what we have right now. Again, both open and active investigations. We've decided to run the lead investigation on the case out of East Point. Thank you, East Point, for being here. And certainly they will continue to support the case, work with our officers and our investigators, and we will partner in identifying where she is and bringing some closure and justice to this to the first family, and hopefully find the missing that you have there. But we need to talk to Mr. Brazier. With that, we'll take any questions.
All right, sir, we'll take a couple questions.
Hello, Chief. A couple questions. On the first one, do we know the relationship between Mr. Waters and Miss Warren?
My understanding is it is a dating relationship.
Okay. And any information on the cousin? Is the cousin the person of interest, Mr. Jalen?
Yeah, I believe that this is cousin through marriage kind of thing. The person of interest is just someone that we'd like to talk to. We believe that he has information as to where she was last seen.
Okay. So I'm sorry. So you're confirming that he is the cousin through marriage?
That's the information we received.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Guys, thanks for the opportunity. Chief, thank you. To go back in on Monday with the search warrant of the home on Vaughn, Ms. Warren's home, what led to that? What led up to going into the home with the search warrant on Monday?
Yeah, so, we've got great community partnerships. So initially when the run came out, you've got the commander from the 6th Precinct here right now, but his officers responded. They did a look through the area, looked in the yard, my understanding is inside of the house as well. And that was confirmed through some investigative work on the commander's part. Later, with our community partnerships, we've got someone who is extremely focused on missings, and that's Mr. Malik Shabazz and his team. They went back out to the location, contacted the police department. We went out with them, and we saw some disturbing things in the yard. The officers secured the location, got a search warrant, went into the home, and that's when we recovered the remains that we recovered at the time.
Did Mr. Waters lead investigators to the remains, or they had to be found?
No, I'm not going to get into all of that because, again, that's really getting granular with the case. However, he was on the scene, and they did search the home. He was on the scene, correct? Yes. Okay.
And when Ms. Warren was first reported missing, officers did respond to the home at that time too, right?
Yeah, they did. And, they went to the home. They did a search of the house. They did a search of the yard. And they did not recover anything at that time, and obviously did not find her. When we returned, they brought in cadaver dogs. They got a hit with the dogs, and we find ourselves where we are right now. Really, really tragic situation.
Absolutely. Zion Foster, is the home, and I can ask a gentleman from East Point as well, and you, Chief, this address up on Greenfield near Vassar, we were up there on Monday. Is that a place where she indeed did tell her mom that she was at that location?
Yeah, so we don't know everything yet. We've got a lot of different pieces to this puzzle, and the investigators are working to put all that together. There's pieces that, if I talk about right now, it'll tip off people who shouldn't know certain things. So I'm not going to get into that. But what we are concerned with is Mr. Brazier and what he knows and where he last saw her. That would be really important to us.
Yeah. And last question, and for Brazier, we've gotten some information from the public about a car linked to him. Is there anything to put out about the car?
Do you have anything on the car, Commander?
No, we have the car.
Okay, we have it. Okay. So
Is it a white Acura, Mike?
I'm not going to get to that.
Okay.
all right. So you have information I didn't have at the briefing.
Just
so,
coming.
Yeah.
Very good.
So that must have just happened.
No, sir.
Okay. Well, we'll talk. All right.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Thank you.